Well, Christmas is just around the corner, and considering our Christmas is the gift of giving, I thought it would be great to give back to my audience by allowing them to vote on which top 10 video they'd like to see for the holiday. So as you all know, I recently held a poll where I had you guys, my viewers, vote on which top 10 video you'd like to see for Christmas, and the winner was top 10 Soul Calibur songs, and to be honest, I was really not that surprised. Again, thank you to everyone who participated, I really do appreciate it. Oh boy guys, I gotta say that creating this list had to be one of the hardest things I've ever done because the Soul Calibur series has so much incredible music, and the series as a whole is one of the best when it comes to music in video games. So after writing this list over and over and over again, I finally came up with the 10 songs that I really like, but even with this in mind, this list is definitely not firm, as I honestly really like most of the music in the whole series, and because of that, my list is constantly changing. Good music is good music, and Soul Calibur's music is no exception to this at all. So with that all said, put on your headphones and ready your souls for some awesome Soul Calibur music. Let's begin. Kicking off this list is the song Thanatos from Soul Calibur 4. Now I'm just going to admit right now that while I do think Soul Calibur's music is great, I have to admit that Soul Calibur 4's soundtrack was a bit lacking when compared to the other games in my opinion. I'm not saying that the music in this game was terrible or anything, but I just found myself liking the other Soul Calibur games' music more. Anyway, Thanatos was probably one of the more memorable songs from Soul Calibur 4, but with it being a rock song, which is something that isn't done that much in the Soul Calibur series. This song plays when you're fighting against Algol in the final room of the Tower of Lost Souls Descend mode, and holy shit is he hard as balls! Algol here is a beast, and the fight can be very frustrating to say the least, but thankfully, this song was a very great choice to have playing in the background as it gets you totally pumped while you're fighting the great hero king. The heavy guitar riffs in this song are very ear-capturing, and the backing orchestra just adds even more to the intense epic atmosphere of it all. And the guitar solo in the middle of the song, it is just so bloody good. Especially when the backing choir gets added in towards the end of it. For a hard rock Soul Calibur song, this one just rocks. And while it was tough to choose between this theme or Algol's theme Regalia from Soul Calibur 5, I went with Thanatos because I thought this song sounded way more dynamic, and I just couldn't get enough of the orchestral symphonic rock sound it was centered around. Soul Calibur 5's soundtrack was a pretty nice follow-up to Soul Calibur 4's in my opinion, as the music went back to its roots and brought out some pretty memorable songs. In the end though, I decided to go with Viola's theme, Wandering Seer. I really love how bohemian and tribal this song sounds, and it's an all-around great Romanian/Arabic song that perfectly matched Viola's aesthetic. Well, her two-player look anyway, which in my opinion, fit Viola's character a lot better. I can totally see Viola dancing to this song, and it makes me all the more pissed that they didn't include the weapon exhibition mode in Soul Calibur 5. I mean, think of how cool it would have been to see Viola demonstrating her dance-like fighting style while this music was playing in the background. It would have been so cool to see. Anyway, there isn't a whole lot more I can say about this song other than I like the way that it sounds, and I think it made for a great Arabic-inspired theme. Soul Calibur 3 have both amazing looking levels and amazing music, and 4 Second Sanctuary is easily one of many of my favorite songs from this game. The song is very atmospheric, and it gives off a cold, melancholic, and haunting vibe that I can't help but get lost in, especially when the piano chimes in during the middle part of the song. The great thing about this song is that other than it being used as the main theme for the Lost Cathedral stage, they also used it for the last few cutscenes of the story mode, which sounded great, and it really added more attention to the scenes. While the theme is shared for both Siegfried and Nightmare, when taking into account with how long these two have been battling against each other since Soul Calibur 1, it's actually pretty fitting as the song sounds very intense and sorrowful, which is perfect for both of them, and they're really made for a haunting, memorable theme all around. This song has always been one of my favorites in the series for quite some time now, as it appeared in both Soul Calibur 2 and Soul Calibur 3, and was used as a theme for the Destined battles. The song is full of so much emotion and tension, and it really enhanced the atmosphere between both rivaling characters, and that they're truly fighting for what they believe in, and that they must win the battle to get closer to their goal. No matter how old this song gets, it still sends shivers down my spine with how subtle yet intense it sounds, especially during the chorus bits that steadily build up, getting ready for the second remaining portion of the song. While there are other songs that I tend to enjoy a little bit more these days, this one will always be a special one for me, and it's still one of the most emotional battle themes in the Soul Calibur series. Soul Blade, the game that started the whole Soul Calibur series, and had one heck of a soundtrack. The Edge of Soul has to be one of the most iconic intro themes I have ever heard, and in my opinion, it's the best intro theme of all the Soul Calibur games. And that's saying a lot because they all are pretty great. The song is full of so much character, and as cheesy as this is gonna sound, it's full of heart. The theme is a beautiful blend of traditional Japanese music with a rock edge to it, along with an uplifting singing voice. The thing I like most about this song is definitely the Japanese sounding strings that sync up beautifully with the heavy guitar riffs, and the fast tempo drumming. The song just makes you want to pack up and go on a grand journey, which I feel embodies the Soul Calibur series. In my opinion, The Edge of Soul is a great timeless song that really stood the test of time and it only gets better with age. When it came to the final boss music in the Soul Calibur series, the themes for them always sound pretty great, but out of all of them, Immortal Flame, the final boss theme for Inferno in Soul Calibur 1, is definitely my most favorite of them all. This song is just a climactic and wild ride of a final boss theme. The intro and build-up of the theme really gets you on edge, and just when you're unsure of what to expect, the loud, aggressive chorus with the dramatic trumpets and horns blasts right on in, and it only got me even more immersed into the fight, battling this Hellfire spawn of Soul Edge. I do like Inferno's boss theme in Soul Calibur 2, but in the end, I decided to go with this theme from Soul Calibur 1 purely because of the overall dramatic symphonic tone, as it just appealed to me a teensy bit more than the latter. And it's easily one of the best final boss themes I've ever heard in a fighting game. The Soul Calibur series has some of the best Oriental themed music in any fighting game, and it was pretty hard to decide which one I want to put on this list. I found myself stuck between this theme or Water Dance from Zhanghwa's stage in Soul Calibur 3. In the end though, I went with Hubris, the theme for Mitsuruki and Zhanghwa's stage in Soul Calibur 2. Like I mentioned before, a fighting game song doesn't have to sound epic or over the top to grab my attention, and this song is another good example of that. The song sounds very calm and serene, and just very relaxing overall. In fact, when I was little, I used to listen to this song in the practice mode before I went to bed. That's just how calming this song was for me. I think the thing I like most about this song is the use of the Chinese-style fiddle that leads through the whole song while alternating with the use of the Chinese-style zither. It just sounds so harmonic and beautiful. Hubris is one of the most soothing songs in the Soul Calibur series, and I can't help but love it every time I hear it. This song is probably one of Soul Calibur's most noteworthy themes, as it was used in both Soul Calibur 2 and Soul Calibur 3. I like this song because it sounds very uplifting and spirited, and every time I played a match hearing this song, I found myself humming along to it quite a bit. The sound of the horns give off this triumphant feeling, and I love how it leads into a beautiful flute solo during the middle part of the song, along with the violins. To this day, Confrontation remains to be one of my favorite orchestral sounding songs from the series, and it just had to be included on this list. I'm just gonna say that the soundtrack for Soul Calibur 1 was really out of this world, and it was full of personality and has so many great songs. It was very hard choosing songs from this game, as I like so many of the themes, from Ivy's Unblessed Soul to Huang's Beyond the Horizon and Yoshimitsu's Chasing Downstream, just to name a few. But in the end, I decided to go with Sophidia's theme, Wings of Faith. Sophidia always has some of the most angelic, harmonic sounding themes in this series, and when I was making this list, it came down to either this song or her theme Fearless Eyes from Soul Calibur 3. And choosing between the two was a huge uncomfortable challenge because both of the themes sound beautiful. However, I went with Wings of Faith because I love the strong symphonic orchestral style it was built around, and I felt like it reflected Sophidia's personality perfectly, as the song starts out loud and exuberant with the horns and trumpets before going into a harmonic soothing sound when it transitions into the bridge of the song, and further transitions into a triumphant sounding chorus. This song is just amazing, and it's most definitely one of my all-time favorite songs in the Soul Calibur series. Now, we've heard some pretty great music in today's video that showcases just how creative and out of this world Soul Calibur's music can really be. But before we listen to the number one spot, here are some honorable mentions. Oh man, this song. Ephemeral Dream has to be one of, if not my most favorite song from the Soul Calibur series. Soul Calibur 3's soundtrack is easily the best one of the whole series in my opinion, and it offers so many amazing songs. But the moment I heard this song when I first played Soul Calibur 3 back in the day, I instantly fell in love with it. Not only does it fit Setsuka's intricate geisha aesthetic, but it also beautifully matched her stage, which is easily one of my favorites in the game. The song did come back in Soul Calibur 4 under the name Innocent Vision, and it sounded a bit different, but in all honesty, I was not a fan of it, and I think Ephemeral Dream sounded way better. Not to say that Innocent Vision is a bad song, it's nice on its own, but it just doesn't hold a candle to the original song in my opinion. I just can't explain why I like this song so much. It's just a musical masterpiece all the way through. Whenever I listen to it, I feel a rush of emotions and it gives me the chills every time. Everything in the song is just perfect, from the beautiful violins in the beginning to the deep cello that plays during the chorus. The song is just so sublime, and such a hauntingly beautiful traditional Japanese song that is full of raw emotion and elegance. So with that all being said, and for all these reasons, that is why Ephemeral Dream is my #1 favorite Soul Calibur song. And there you have it guys, those are my top 10 Soul Calibur songs. Again, while this list was very hard to make, I had a lot of fun making it, and as far as I'm concerned, the music for the Soul Calibur series as a whole will always be one of my all-time favorites when it comes to music in video games. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming goodness. I'm Decadent Gamer, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.